festival heritage Jumeko Ben and then Simone. So what is really the thing about Ashanti Global Festival Heritage?
All right. And the must start here free. Mami be renowned person, philosopher, be your friend Margaret Mead. Or say it's only a small, thoughtful group of people who can change the world. In fact, it is the only thing which has ever been. We try now they buy Asante Kasema. Nese nipa kuka krebi. And so mo pese a crew tumpon. Or mo betimi aye amane tumpon. Nemum, in fact, sana ebrebiatie. Yashe Juma Dr. Frank Amakoyene Asante Mantem so for Adia. And Pennyfo na nesabu baby say nipa bako for ensa. And so
Nikata.
Yɛhwɛ ne vision na wɔma Ashanti region na vision ne so na se vision ne so a obehia ɔmo bɛbɔ n'akidom obehia ɔmo bɔ n'akidom a one thing which can really bring development to a crew event events in the sense that se wo ye event na ɛwɔ a socio-economic impact a obewie na development and improvement aba crew ne so no na ɛdɔso but one person handling 43 districts which is huge. A bed in Kakra inti a mantia ne maba will be a calm boom say. I didn't any more Asante Mantem so for no echidom. Say Unya and Iswadi Mubia no peso udijuma a year event biadema Asante Mantema. Yadi ya humbesi wo na jumebi a was ye dino a year a jumebia whether say a year Yahua deni a deco whether say ye kwakope a moi a free a year ankra biho. Ediaba support say Jumedi ne be krabe no ye be di say adwuma no enti eyeku eka mo bo mu say Jumedi be di no Asante Mantem bi ombeboa na eye afi etwa mu 2025 na Jumedi onwanwaso bi ebaye yato ne din Ashanti Festival yetena ase ayehwe mfaso Ashanti Festival edebre eye Asante Mantem talking about the prisons meals clinic. It was renovated during the Ashanti Festival.
Okay.
Talking about a presidential villa, which had been abandoned over the time. Talking about the fact that the Ashanti Festival, the fashion industry within the Ashanti region, the need to come together as a group to even create a fashion industry. As you see, I'm going to say from Ashanti Fashion Industry Network. Afen. Share any munyamsha a fashion show na a debre Asante Mantem with a kukudam ebemu. Looking at all the other programs, then we realize there is the need to do more. If there is the need to do more, then it means there was a kind of bomu ye. Na ye miya yentamu. Said ye beya a quine bia and iswadi hubia a world doctor and isono. Ebetimi abuano amana achieve. Enti osade 2 years 2026. Ashanti Festival no Jumedi edin last year no enye podcast em de be kan 9 day wonder na ya de a opese ye institute emanet na ho afebo bia no na ekuo no hu ne se Jumedi de ebeboa na nti o se somu na ye somu yi enye se ya somu keke ye somu ye ni ebo ho ban se de be a ebe ye Asante Mandia na emrebidru na se eye Dr. Frank Amakohene enye onumpo ene ye Asante Mantem so afo a sa Jumedi na ye di no ebetimi abon ho ban se be Ashanti Festival na yenyina yenim no ebetimi aka na aboa Asante Mantem.
Nice one. Before you be running into 2026 activities in your mamba be no. But see a quick chika may understand the BBC the Ashanti Global Festival Heritage Kuno. Last year any fancy affair obeka say mopa hon to ma jumedi edikan mo shase anase na makam ho abu say as you know an entity aye jumedi be of that sort before.
Yes, enti ohwe Ashanti Global Heritage na jumedi na ewo ho. Na last year no enti me de se menua abranti me beto no ha pa menua friend Thomas minim dia mo de friend de
Bonti
wabon grane pa wala fontaine
onyaye there was a challenge.
Yes, enti se wo sha vision started years ago and I'm sure he would attest to it. We started from the point of capacity for youth for Capacity and Community Development Foundation and programs are enormous. Okay. Some 8 years ago, we shared more than 1,000 sneakers for Nkrewa Dangomase. Wow. School distribution, exercise book, stationery distribution, 1 areas and all that. So, you did more Asante Mantem ache. Nemum na de akaye ne say yebinya sebi o kandini bia o timmebunase.
Yeah.
Kandini bia owo vision. kandini bi a ono nso de ne ho asi wo se opese obo Asante mantem yeah politics but minua bonti wa no there was a time ago I remember when we wanted to launch Youth for Capacity and Community Development Foundation ehia mpanyifo bebre at the time ewi ase no yeah ideas are dey a good crata so yeah dey resources equity research and all that ewi ase no na akandifo be afan say your mo ankasa personal project and either way almost sideline and all that not even giving credit so I me kai me say na me adwuma was samurai boy I had to leave everything because a program was going to be launched. I was told I was going to be the secretary for the committee. I drew on that day. Me drew near Bob. Me person Bob kuku down for near Bob. Penny one when he Bob Akra make us say Bob Akra Krapuma near Bob wedding. Near Bob wedding. If we are seeing no movie no movie Michina Ejina and Channel Mukacham. I think at the time I was in my mid-20s or Bibisa.
Now you look like a small boy in their face.
And there are some Mukacham say Yima vision a crowd one and your dinner with the year Jumano. We see you as Abrante Bia or Dachepa, but see no. These are the exact words that he told me. Say see an yaman penyifono any omobre, onso breba. So it tells you that in our system, many a times the leaders think and mebuno or potential no. However, usa
it's not your time.
It's not your time. But I bet to differ. We've seen what Dr. Frank Amwakone is currently doing in the Ashanti region, and it's enormous for a young person like his caliber to do stuff like this. I've been in existence, we've worked for years, and now is the time we have found the leader. Yesusu say, ononso wo ope, or ahofama no, say ope say, or the boy santimai, inti mpanyifo mo na mubu mube, obi pe ade akokotoba.
Yenina bro,
inti yehu ne sa no, e wo se yesonu mu ye na, dwumadi bi ani yedi in the past no. Ya bani yasa be shemukina na ye de bona chido.
You are currently in a regional such activity, say a global festival, say yenye jumedie be not a day, not 2 days, but in series. It's hardly you see some here in that part of region. Mosha say no, wana be any say well, the vision is there. We have someone who can help us. Ebia financially, if not financially, krana nani munyambia the kobe bia obi betime fear would open doors and all that. But having, more of like a festival to span through a period, didn't you guys have such fear at the beginning of it?
And to say that somebody like myself, I have been in this for so many years. Starting something like this, especially with the regional minister. We are already in a region where the regional minister's political party and Sheda popular. So as normal as you are, as human being as you are, obey a little bit skeptical. Say jumedi ya ye kudi na se ye wie kra na se ye ba be boy chi ana se ye wie na ye ka se ya anye ni ye ana se ye normal. However, the e say ye nkran ye say nipa na ye som no no e nipa ono no ni tirimu po nyina ye say if se me ye ade a eye ekwan paso na me ye ade papa ama me mindful a I am not afraid of anything. One thing, exactly. One thing I was here when I say, as human beings, say usuru say ube failure, you can never succeed. So the first path to success, even accepting the fact that failure is part of the process. And now you're ready say, so what we did was the most experienced people in the group, like myself, we had to psych the upcoming ones and I said the younger ones that in the so many years we have never had somebody like Dr. Frank Amwakone support us. And with him, what should I say? Bibi anyone any possible or my way. Say what about a pesi when you swa ebeboa am wenya echitai for. So the moment that vision never talk on say no, you had a lot of people coming on board. Last minute, in your MTN coming on board, and your music show it was duly sponsored by MTN. Your cultural program it was sponsored by Tabia. Most of the programs and we had people coming on board. Prisons, meals, clinic, and say you're calling innovate here. It was people and no sponsor. The point is, there are people who genuinely want to help the country. You want more pay. Say patriotism wise, they want to help the country. But the question is, do our leaders really merit patriotism? Metiye ebia anka menya enya mepe se menum nsu a medru abonte ana mato atwe menya anka medru ba bia menum nsu a se that's been si wa e bia anka medru betum because the least yepa ye nyina insight example ye nyina most of us eco tertiary institutions and you realize that when you go to the tertiary institutions because of the number of beings at a work campus in hardly do you see the amount for later but these are the same people on free tertiary institutions who do KJTR on who are not there for because a provision has not been made available for him and the point is nipa wo pe there be a case yana assassin e aboard in dey my it's not that amount for enim say aboard in dey my but on person mutu na dey mu no give people the reason to value Omaino. Recently president Eko Zambia eye nanka FLB bafugu ni ade both factions the NPP the NDC the CPP all the other political parties they came together and when we came together for a common cause and now it is going global everywhere you go
to the point say even Wednesdays we have that
exactly and
then
because of what happened you see match just last week Michelle video be I know because this is one of the most meaningful 6-month celebrations we've ever had in the country. The reason being that the surge about Ghana JC obi akwa Ghana JC ato on the side me boutique me ton JC ne nyoma make me the video bi a kire wa ba bi a ye ko ho se ko fa nyoma no ye du ona atwede asi ho amafo ko Ghana JC wudu ono ma afi o mo de ahoma a kire kwan na no agisi epeja homa no no akoto no obi age o politin ansa ne amo awuram enyoma gufoma yetieti because everybody wants to patronize Ghana JC eba ne sen edu maybe nanka Black Stars ekwa koboba ne nyina she Ghana JC but recently we were not seeing that eba ne sen na sees match all of the sudden out of nowhere it's just like Kotokone has ebobo na say na Kotokone has ebobo ubehwe no Ghana Premier League na yenya numbers nimpo ho it's not as if people don't support Kotoko anymore people don't support us anymore no okopaka de Kotoko be ye de ate wakoma no edu unko biu there has be ye de ate wakoma no unko biu e maybe e twam ye ba be Kotoko ne has utiminya Dan Coleman and Steve Odro money these players omko radio so they talk about bono it hypes up the program but this is the question is let's be very honest with ourselves Kotoko ye de me I've supported Kotoko all my life regional minister has supported Kotoko all his life if you hear aha and na Kotoko ewo aha ye Kotoko dia but ebrebi atwam Kotoko ne as by bo utimi ka say Eric Bequin versus Dankwe me kai match back bi Eric Bequin kwa instructions wo coach na Dankwe edi na chi
wa ko TV
that match still Eric Bequin say go so Kotoko for no what pride they say ya ba be match they know they are going to watch Eric Bequin they know they are going to watch Stephen Odro they know they are going to watch Nana Hindia they know they are going to watch Emba Power and then in a year ko bobo na why din grani ebo but recently Kotoko ne has eba bobo Dr. Franka Mwakoyene mayor Accra regional minister nananom any mpanyimfo wa Asante Mantem edi omo gimu so omo be boa me promote we saw the numbers at Mabaya it means odona ye woma ye local league it is not dead but we just need something to rekindle it and the patriotism is always there but we need that spark
quickly young glancy through 2025 when the Ashanti Festival was actually launched Munye activities baby more personally one of the activities me as a radio person and as myself me patronize me feel pa me DJ home was that boxing event that was organized at KNUST parade grounds on no more activities baby what did me go through be activities mu na okay of head that you want to make mention of it. We are talking about even the prisons here mokoye with that Daumasi and all that activities na day. And how did you guys come about the activities? Mo ye survey be hu and me study adebu ho. It was a festival and it's a festival. Enti man put the concentration on one particular place. Mo demarcate as like Obi Evans origin baby I will be and you get a share ama hokra na closer to you so you can make an entrance there. How was it like 2025 there?
So the whole concept of Ashanti Festival is to open up the various sectors of the economy in the Ashanti region. In the nutshell, the local economy. And the Jumedia ye dini na say ye target an industry and as a sector. Then we see what ye betimi aye edi aboard that very sector. So let me walk you through like we did like 20 programs last year.
Okay.
We're supposed to do 25. but due to one or two reasons, the 5 couldn't come off. A bit to say he will confirm not a fundraising. Sabreno, Yenyame Kessie, and ana Odi Sajumano, and on an AD and Mukaiba Sabreno, now only Ashanti region. So we couldn't do that program without him. Ashanti Development Dialogue, we couldn't also do that. But the ones we were able to do, my main found free a lake bosomche. Yaka Lake Bosomche, it is the biggest natural lake in the whole of West Africa. And ya Ghana. Now say more Abefontin time fidi isui. Baby Abefebia Obiseme Zanzibar. Obiseme Zanzibar. The question is, why has Zanzibar become predominant? And then youth be Obeshi and be onim Zanzibar no who Zanzibar video crowd what dino.
Yeah.
The point is, people have been able to market it so well that we think that Zanzibar is so extraordinary. So we call on man. Sebi eya kwa kwa say oh how nyina be free also. However, we sit on Lake Bosomche, which is the biggest in the whole of West Africa, and we as a people have not duly been able to market Lake Bosomche, even to Ghana alone.
Yeah.
Even to the Ashanti region alone. Ebe on one say Sabri Amino can say ebi akra bi kra to Lake Bosomche, but we say Ashanti region. It tells you that consciously we need to put in effort to improve your local tourism. And I was so much happy. A baby I'm home video now will kasa about Truba the enclave.
Yeah, the enclave.
It tells us Odoman Kuma Boadi no and Yoma what the chair Asante Mantem no a dorsum. And as a group as Asante Mine say bet me abohun the rozier ama amanfo hu ebe boy. And God being so good, we went to Lake Bosomche and proud to say Yebabekon, we realized that there is an abandoned presidential villa which has been there for so many years. Anka President Eba Omayim Asante Maimwa. Anka Sabi enye hotel sem. And one is a ye bia ye dear see ho ama president. President beko etumi beko akwa jejeno. Senki ye CS ye ho yempa. Ebetimi as a tourist attraction site for us. Yeah. And it would generate revenue and it would open up the local economy in Bosomche, which is a district as you speak right now, but Omo Boabo say a bit a municipality and all that. So and only boy again we even discovered say when him say MPMP yetimi free Asante Mantem, not to demean any other part of the country, but it was Asante Mantem, and we promote our own. Yetimi free Asante Mantem say yeah Kakum National Park. Because there is a canopy walkway.
Yeah.
Did you ever know that there is a canopy walkway at Lake Bosomche? A lot of people do not know this.
Yeah.
So it's all about the conscious effort to make sure we can publicize and develop some of these tourist areas so that at the end of the day, you bet me I can say ye nama fashion no yetimi ye sin. Yanko e biafo from. Ye bibia ye ne friend no Anren Kumawood Heroes. Dr. Frank Amwakwene be a regional minister. This is an open secret. Obianim odo awoma Kumawood. And sa odo no enye out of anything. Enye out of say bia sebi no hontani bi nti na oyesa anase bibisa. The creative industry has the potential to employ thousands of people. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama eni so adi hunu ne say obefiri abamu no atimi create a lot of employment to take the youth off the street. It is only right that you look at sectors ben na metotonyo me here. It can absorb the chunk of this youth off the street. Yemfa nipa miensa pe any example. Miangaza minya kwadun kanzala wen. Miangaza minya doctor lawyer like or your lawyer because last year enunya sa title Okodi yes Okodi Judas any Jesus Asem and yebeba ho no it is one of the programs yebeba ho and mi angasa me mame mercy asiedu sank of mi and sankwa. The question is how many people do they employ a day or more coseta amanfo edi o meche any actors no say more times actors ni anymore. But let's talk about the crew alone. The crew alone, they are absorbing over 50 people and send a cast number. So it tells you if we are putting structures in place, then the creative economy would be in a great hand. Now, before say ubeti ashe bibi aseno, kai unchi ne kai baby are free. Before say you zoom into the future, it is only right that omo di omo moja omo bre omo moja ni so omo be kun ama industry no yebeti mi ana omo. So we're able to honor people like Grace Omabo adodo na animi no Mame Dokuno. Yeah. We honored somebody like Grace Northy. Also dodo na animi no say Mame Magani. we honored somebody like Pa George. Also honor the Pa George na Obia Dinim. Then Yeba Kumasi, and that is where my key focus was. Obi to say Papa Chumesi. He had been bedridden for years.
Yeah.
And because the structures of Fumawood were not so strong, you realize that any bibi was a timid man to send KBA music or make me more music or more gam or more all those more structures so ye bibi on in Kumao there were no structures like that. So the man had been left to his fate and people on bit me so we had to go motivate him, give him an undisclosed amount of money and offer some motivational words. Again, try to offer some health support to him and all that. If you in your background bibi or a year more, I heard him so that day Obi to say, yeah, my man, Hayford, and also, yeah, Anna with that same thing. That day, yeah, movie Kumasi Onko, and that is the day I'll tell you a lot of people in Kumasi really miss the good old days because you watch a movie like Kumasi Onko, and as I speak with you now, Derek, say who confirm Kumasi Onko Sasha and now, you'll be moved by the cinematography. All those ABR visuals are so great because of that time technology and all. But the storyline and all those things, these are things which are still relevant to modern day trends. So it tells us that day and that is when a lot of people felt there is the need for us to really come back and support a year Jumedia, a year Dr. Frank Amakunidi. Because let me give this last one. We did something which we called the Ashanti Dramalog. And Ashanti Dramalog, it was something which was being piloted. It was a case study. A honum nona yekunya Dr. Like Yosabe lawyer. MP bra yase onyankopon enim the beginning from the end and the end from the beginning. So it means in the beginning God knew that his son, which was Jesus Christ, or which is Jesus Christ, ebaba be wuaje mene Derek ne sebonti enkwa. Enzo baba be wuaje mene sebonti nkwa dia na se watwera to wo say esese obi yinema. Esese obi yinema no watwe ni bakro din ato say nipa ne be friend Judas Iscariot. Na ne ba ne say na Judas Iscariot ebe yi Yesu ma say Judas Iscariot in pabonini.
He was destined to do that.
Exactly, he only fulfilled his purpose. And Judas Iscariot as Abraham na ye bigger quiz. Edi Yesu Kristo aye Michael Afrane ekwo court. Say on tia say baby Yesu Kristo be gina ama say Kristo fo be gina bia no. Omo ni din bone say ono ne ye nipa bonini. Enti ye kodi court no e Judge Louis Lamis e courtroom na o hwe nipa na o defend eye bigger quiz na eno no eye doctor lawyer like na Yesu Kristo nso Judas na ne obi a friend Merikonto na bajo ni Merikonto abrewa mafia na Merikonto. That day it was interesting, it was very educative. Ebi America say obi adwen be ne say a blasphemy, but if you had the chance to watch, Christians or mobile learned a lot because there are so many things that in Pempino Sebi yes everybody also a kind Bible, but you move bebre wo honoma Bible no ebi wa umane akokan ba ni akokan mi. So when you have the chance to act something on stage, it goes a long way to affect everything. You know, anyone say no, education is free side we mobile no. It is only right that we institute this thing as a periodic thing. In the last year, Obesha and come for so ba mining, I know so be interview pa ye Akwaba versus Ubake. And the year no, na no say say ura court there mu. Ekofa Superman Clemento Suarez, ne akwakofa Dr. Likey, akwakofa Chichiku,
General
Ntatia ani Opoku Beose money akuku da mebre say and also ye be educate amanfo on why we shouldn't let language say a divide here. So these are some of the things which happened in last year.
Personally, I was there to observe the Akwaba versus Obake show. I think I came on the second day or the second show. I watched the second show, and then now idea, as you are saying, put aside the characters are not they were being used now. Also personally no more idea for themselves. Abraham Mafia, for instance, or no more born home dinner to have her on stage and to depict or say that message, you know. It got to a time characters are used to Obake for no maybe ne papa bi na about say white tea. I thought they were being too serious. I say mungu kakra but I say o many abia say the EACC or mona they wanted to say something that it was something nice. All these activities that were organized on the maiden edition of Ashanti Festival, no, putting it in a box how would you say yeah. One, I know you guys had a message and I'm a person with the 2 abontima, and then 2, as you said, the activities need more on the pilot stage. Putting a more ambitions need be together. No, how would you say it went? A course said an open, and as at least Munya respond now a pushy to set 2026 Munye and Amuenya, but Onya dear Bakope and Felice and one or Debbie, I'd have to continue. How they did whole fair for the 2025 edition?
So doing Ashanti Festival for the first time, any response I how it was executed, I would say is excellent. Because doing something for the first time, I feel a challenge is never for you to plan around it and all that. But in the heat of the moment, even with challenges neighbor, most of them were on top of it. A survey, your impact part near person creating, say you better affect the local economy. Again, I would say we duly did that. Socio-economic important. I've already stated some of the benefits which came out of the Ashanti Festival, and I would say that was equally achieved. However, moving into 2026 now, we are not looking for an excellent performance. No, we are looking for the extension, because now we have seen what we are capable of doing. People who doubted us now know the potential which we stand to execute, and people who even amongst the team were skeptical on a thing or two, right now almost say we have overcome our fears, and say so this year, with all the factors and everything which happened last year, which was excellent, we are looking forward to having a super amazing Ashanti Festival 2026.
I mean, person may call into say be munya boafo munya sponsorship, because as you rightly said, once more a content to put out there, more a project to put out there, you're good. No, you even had the likes of MTN sponsoring at the latter part. Tabia, they all came on board to sponsor it. I don't want to go there. But then moving into 2026, 2025, more outlining, more activities. Ebi wo hono as he said, more pilot here. 2026 year, who's the date in the month they free the 27th of February. They call into the 12th of April. Even all the event outline, mamia. Share event outline here, I'm putting it out there now. Whose activities need also be, and communities are more than the expand. A quite be a padre, be a squat, Kumasi Cultural Center, Mobi Crow Formena, CCB, Ratri Park, the Chelmsford Street of Lake Bosom Tree, a go honomana. All these activities are my lining up, and I just want to know, clarify our horse. Activities are the Ashanti Global Festival Heritage. Mo put it together. Ekeka ni nyina bo mu de ba ya na say some of these activities are individuals be and infant say de ba be kire mo hear how credible it is. Mo hear how well it can go, and say it fits into my plan na mo de call ye. I'm asking that also on the basics say me who a cultural event which is supposed to happen this weekend, Ashanti Festival, and I'm putting out there say event outline for the week, na a womb. That's Kumewu Papa Nenchidi, no. And yet saying one, I'm putting it together, and I say you allow other activities to put in if it fits.
And the say in order to do a body of work that affects a region as big as Ashanti region, we have stakeholder consultation. Last year, so Kaya, before you rolling out Ashanti Festival events, even time and year consultations, regional minister took to his social media pages, on his social media pages, for people to suggest programs or
I remember seeing
and
that.
I can tell you that last year, in as much as we had something we drafted, I can tell you we took 30% of what came on his platform.
Okay.
And some of the programs were actually from his platform.
Okay.
This year, same thing. A lot of stakeholder engagement, and yet global heritage because to say the American, Jumedina yedin for Asantimai was stakeholders. Asantimai were nananom. Asantimai were ministers. Asantimai were MCs, DCs, and all these people. Asantimai were individuals. Asantine. So you consult all these people. I remember somebody and I obi to say mayor what you are seeing there, he made a lot of input into it. One of the programs I didn't even know When I say a program, we say, I feel say. I sat down and listened to the lecture, and I was like, international, all those things I'm taking decision, but the reasons which you have given, I know that my team no I definitely it would find its way to the program outline. Yes, and indeed, it is one of the programs there. So you realize that we did a lot of stakeholder engagement because Sebi, to say the American, you made the cry as Ashanti Global Heritage, Ediama Ashanti Regional Minister. And in the first place, you can't do anything on your own. Okay. And the Ashanti Regional Minister, Ensu Jinaho, Emma His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. And he would also have to run it through. And we've had engagement with the Tourism Ministry, we've had engagement with the culture, we've had engagement with Nananum, we've had engagement with your friend is MMDCs, DCs, and all that. So it's a stakeholder engagement. Any of the cancer programs 20 in our boom, any we say woo a crataso, any I say, and nam stakeholder engagement, when you say within the year 2026, in the year na your dog programs in Mosuka, you'd realize that Nyami had watched a program now will come 17. Say me my reason, Krona, you would understand the need why it is there. So it was a full stakeholder engagement. That is how we're able to come up with this body of work.
That is nice. Yeah, activities are outlining bit no. Nyamboch na yebe me nyamboch na dia mo be ye me ashada ka ho asem separately. But then I want to look at other activities be more lining up to say the soccer competition under 17 soccer competition. Why did such inclusion come in? Meaning say football, as we all know, the biggest thing that could put even people together. To the extent, say Ghana 69th Independence Day, na change the Black Stars a cover ball. We could have sold the flag, you know, but then we were selling the football jersey. Aside all the other activities, why add such a competition into it? And then at the internet, we choose on the juvenile level, which is the under 17. No?
All right, and that very program, under 17 tournament, did not even start this year. That program started last year at Ashanti Festival. Last year, so yabo match bi wom. And this Benya last year flyer now. Okosheswa. No media versus Kumawood, government officials. Yes, the T say curtain raiser to Ashanti inter-district soccer competition. And last year it was within a short time. There are 43 districts within the Ashanti region. And now you me money in within that short period no. So you be officially. And you and your question to say oba akwa share na wache wo na echere say osiesie no ye na waba bonti nti esiesie ye ho na and ye be pa ho to ma last year somewhere even around October September ewo ejoso Okesi Park. Now to the question of why under 17 because maybe not Black Stars thrive pa Portugal say we can the good old days ye be kaya e brand na ye juvenile football no na it was doing so great. Your juvenile football near Obrofobia near different coast football. Yeah. I have stayed in here almost all my life until recently I made friends. Even with that, so I go there almost every time. So I bring teams me no be wo honom. Say I want to be catch Wonders FC and a team back will be near friend and IT. On only the Osika FC, Nedim back on Osika FC. Na team near the team near there. So Wonders FC and Osika FC airborne match. Not that day. You about Real Madrid and Barcelona, you will still find the here park full. Because the Ashanti region loved coast football. Yeah. Oko Asimpaka, it was no different. Oko Tafo Sakasaka Park, I don't know Tafo Sakasaka Park Ginidin. Oko Pankono, it was no different.
West Park.
Everywhere within the Ashanti region. It tells you how people are passionate about football. Yeah. And this is how we're able to get certain players. There was a player no here. A friend of Sebans. Ebra Edu Jenvi, Ebabe, Edu Jenvi, I think it's almost 3 Milo. I'm not 2 hours 3 times. Ebra na do Jenvi about 3 million. Let me tell you the players they were using for that repeat. No more Sebans. No Sebans ever Wonders FC. No more Iniesta. On your friend Kuz. No so Wonders FC. No more Samai. No Samai were not. No more I've forgotten some of the names. But these were people who were from coast teams. And no more no more admit your munina. And your more boba. I said academy be near bobo. Because Omedicare Suyabo on every omo problem. But he realizes coast football in the Ashanti region silently is on the decline. Most of your pitches, again outside here, for more than 6 years. Ye paka na make us one desne na nati ba bo so. Ye di aboa ba be guso for more than 6 years here ba be astro theft. And as we speak right now, there is nothing like that.
And that kwan ho sa na hu no left.
Guso more than 6 years. And now even people of that community, they don't even have a football pitch to train and as to play.
Yeah.
So how do we improve on their capacity as footballers? So yes, no. Let's go back to the grassroots. Let's go back to see how we can bring juvenile football, coast football back to life. Yebedi said one year Winneba Sports College din kita home. Say, you say that time na Black Stars striving na players ni free Black Meteors, Black Satellites, Black Galaxies, and Crankra teams no. And these Crankra teams no, they were being fed by the coast teams.
Yeah.
And they add the internet yemfa bibi ma a bit me a boy I mean discover talent no. The Portuguese and Wobekase catch them young so that we can be able to feed the Winneba Sports College so that they develop our players for us for the various national teams. Again, if not for the Winneba Sports College, there are scouts who can even take advantage of this and come around to scout some of these players. There is an adage that you can't teach an old dog a new trick. It will be when you know, me say metier, Sebi, say Evan is a mente brofwa, minya, classroom be anu adu mekwa kwatena obechire me brofo ma metimi aka brofo eloquently.
Ubenya ni instant kwa.
Exactly. Some me di fufu ni abetia na me ketere mo mukwa edu. Na ve na me ba be dan me ketere mo. But at that younger age, and me, one of the things I always regret, say, me call a French school, that is where I born teacher there. And I was one of the best French students because I'm a being, not because me di baba pa, but I sometimes regret at that young age, man take advantage and French and make me French fluently apart from their children. So the young ones from 17 years no, you can nurture them. Obet me actually more tactics. Wait me actually more maybe. By the time so no, this is part and parcel of them. So we are catching them young so that we can feed the senior national teams. That is the reason for the under 17 soccer competition. And to roll it out, your 43 districts in the Ashanti region. We zoned the 43 districts into 8 groups. Before then, you go into town. And my district be a team. Said the bear, Obi can say, where your mama you cool for, it's made your moon quite heading. To say football is one of the things which unites us.
Yeah.
One of the greatest, the top 3 all-time greatest strikers of Africa, you can't do away with Asamoah Gyan.
Yeah.
Asamoah Gyan will be part of a top 3 list, any top 3 list, because Africa all-time top scorer, World Cup, he's our greatest striker ever in this country. Asamoah Gyan MPP ni. But men kai brebi ana Asamoah Gyan Gina Park so bobo Asamoah Gyan say go ma Ghana. Bonti ma me chain it say men celebrate because or MPP. Maybe a bonti ma me and this. No, it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
So it tells you that we as a people, one of the things which puts us together, one of the things which unites us as an entity, football. Enti more intertown said will be able to me and team. Once we are able to get the team, we play the zonal level, which is the inter-district soccer competition. It's in 8 zones where zone B one not 6 districts no, maybe one not 5 districts no. And your boy now winners no, any runners up no, and qualify. So out of the 8 zones, we're able to get 16 districts to qualify to the next stage. In the next stage no, and last week Saturday and Sunday, ye di hujuma, Akrim Highlanders Park, about 1/16 of the Ashanti under 17 inter-district soccer competition. Events
now more there are dates that goes with it and or time I'm over no. And what we would also want to do is say as the event approach Nyame adoma ye what the medium to be on radio you be my TF where the activities will be going on so be on bit my me my aba be focus on the eba so nyam watch na no. But then maybe some question me here na bunti I don't know the aka so far if you have any question no busa answer you go into the final one. Amunya that comment of say as mu hwehwe ni mu dodo mu dia say bibia mu be na ye anka mu ba ye nka mu be ye munya that comment ni bi because if you look at areas like say ye nkohwe Kumasi the ama ye nije ba ko pa eye movie kuma wudi mu baye you are concentrating there. 2 yema soccer has money wo honum stars aside just promoting them no individually groups are not forming over years omuntimi into about omuntimi nye hwekwa you put them together amunya that comment. Then when you get that comment now normally what is it your response? Because say about politics in so you can't say that Ashanti regional minister is a politician, is the regional minister, but our free ho focus on Ashanti na me event or 38 when he or the man or honor. Oh, you find him everywhere. You find him everywhere. Now okay, say Ashanti Global Festival. Mona mote ye and I say kone wo or buy what he can do, what he wants to do, and I'm more born a chidom. But it all boils down to say, or no penina, when be a quina mamma come to me. So it goes and come back to him. I'm that comment. When you that comment and so how do you guys see it? And I say you are like you just have to do it.
And the attorney say that comment comes a lot. Regional minister and Nancy, you know, there are many times a phone calls, a WhatsApp messages, a text messages, and all that. And you have people saying, I deal with you. And Kai, whom he has a regional minister, with ye, a was a sports food, been also me, was a GS food, been also me, a was assemblyman, been also me. You see, and Penny Fosse, Yadi Jawa, and that's why. And Penny Fosse, baby say, to whom much is given, much is expected. Michelle Spider-Man, Monsieur Bibi Free, was in great power lies great responsibility. Yadi Asudia Mount say we are Santimantem Swafo. We are Santimantem Swafo, it means that we are President Kitwa. Yeah. Sentine say, Jumedi was a president, didn't was Santimantem Bia or the Aswao. Yeah. And our pony to me no kakra at the amount, say we be this argument. And it's a president in charge of health, president in charge of sports, president in charge of culture, president in charge of everything. Then it means say, wo as a regional minister, one so was said here a juma. And Pempi, no, Constitution Review Committee, no, a year or majuma last year, make I call or the no quadra so what's the name? Longford.
Yeah, yes. Event center.
Call event center no. Chairman Nekasim, you see, or baby, you know. Now one of the suggestions are ever on one of the positions are also taking it off of your political realm, no, regional ministers, because people feel regional ministers are not doing enough. However, Dr. Frank Amoakohene assessed the status quo. Wamo biye hu said it was a regional minister ejumano, it was a osi eyeno, because ono ohune say me media ye diama mini. Media His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as a 34-year-old man. A bra president and this are 2 man no indeed 34 or 33. And he's a medi 33 na ya mamesa asudie kesiye not in any region award 12 districts, not in a region award 8 districts, but a region award 43 districts. Then it means the responsibility is huge. It means the trust the president ediashemi munoson. And it's a president trust not ediashemi munoson. And your president I am now a representative of the youth.
Yeah.
Ya ma youth biasa akwenyaneda. Me as Dr. Frank Amoakohene me ye case study. E de ma youth ni nyina se me ye ni here dache ye bebo me din eno nti na mpanyifo bu baby say ya mo din anase ya nkai wansere a ye be kai wasu.
Yeah.
Enti say ye bo Dr. Frank Amoakohene din ye bebo ni din say ye de babu no be si wo say Asante mantem so afo no osisa Asante mantem ti bre bia ye fa babu no ma anase ye de babu no ba say Asante mantem so afo no obegu Asante man ni mpoto nti babu no tie emebi atwam ye kai yenya MPB o ka say mo sa babu no fo na mutiko no bibia nim no enu nti na ye ka say ye nkopa adwene mra ye si ye kwa konwo abrewa ne ye panyina wodwene. That is what panyini bi e ka kire ye wo man we mu. And say Dr. Frank Amoakohene ya branti a wasi so na opese o make a statement say enye sebi adwene nko na e kire nimdia empanyifo bu be said ye wodwene no na enye just transa eyebe eye kasa emudo ye kasa obi wodwene no wonimdia na nkyerese wutiri hu wo white na kyerese wo wonimdia nemom ye kyerese obi a wo hu ni nyina he has seen it all into our experience, our expertise. But in this case, once we have a 34-year-old man doing what the 60s, the 70s could not do, then it is a great case for say we always need to make sure ye mrantie ne ye mabawa no ye ntwen emma omu nyinansa empedi wazi kuntu hwane ane njia na ekọ na mmom o ya brante ni kwan se wo twen na wunwan ne de ko wachi na mmom mrantie brem na make sure you make a case for the youth, and that is what we are doing. And yet this our comment na yes a commenter obi bega say oh we dey hard ba ye no a commenter boy pa because
it pushes you.
Exactly e push ye e propel ye some say ye ntimi nye ye mrantie and you pa ya Dr. Franka mo akọ ni team no oba hwe omo di na chi no mrantie ne maba wan ko a because we want to make a case for the youth. Said the be adache ya no mo so say after 38 years omutimi ba into power 38 years in just 38 years on me but after 38 years na brebi on betimi ba power omo so betimi aka say NDC ya de bebnu ebe to Asante mantema no oye sei enti ene yanso ye de mu ana ya ye nipa ka kire say muti kono no bibia nim no ya va sa asem ne nto nchen yaso yankofa ye mrantia ne ye mabawa no because the way I say we are seeing ikono the future only belongs to the youth. The youth no enunti da ye to one of the Ghana national anthems no yanga say arise the old men of Ghana. Yes say arise Ghana youth, for the country demands great devotion. And this is a test case. Ya to sa nyum ne free Kwame Nkrumah pencil. And so if you Kwame Nkrumah pencil kokra fon kwa na ne di anim. And the question is yanga say yes anthem. Yeah, did we not believe in the anthem? This is the time to make the case. So people say that yes, because the resource Ashanti region. You cover Ashanti Festival by obi say ye tell ye ho no ye no, there is facts and figures, there are numbers
back what you said.
Exactly. There is socio-economic importance. And it's a matter me ho met na TikTok na say from a TikTok minister na say TikTok minister na e ma meet the plight of the youth na me solve what TikTok am. I would always be on TikTok because I was voted in power to listen to the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian. Na me solving the problem man. And it's a sad platform na the mama akonya se me solve problem na. I didn't know James me free so. Enti me nko na me nko to na office. Na me an armchair leader. I don't get to listen to the plight of the people. Ebedru elections time no. Na wa say twa wa ba be ka chem say minister no kra ye didn't see so ye no. Minister ye didn't see so ye hu de o ye mai. We ye nemu na ebu amamu no. Ye nemu na take Facebook or ye nemu na TikTok or dia mo beka no ye be ya amamu, and that is the reason why our comments no, it never breaks us.
Bunty, it is a friendly match.
On say a bit is a flyer no cry before say about me monitor the page in the park. Okay. Or say a graphic designers in and designing be mra. After say buy no. Yes, I'll go through near choose the fit at the end come. I'm asking say oba Ashanti mantemu ase na nkro no bebre wo hono mo a omo wo nyoma bi a very symbolic to your culture no. Nti eno so no, do you go to the chiefs and as mama assembly members and as yenka omo MMDCs no omo so e de omo suggestions ba no mo choose nkro na mo be event no hono na.
Yes, nti te say see am no ka say ye di kaya ka eye program ye de call for me na. Untimi nko for me na cruise so abra eye man hene wo ho no oni ni nkita ho. Last year ye Kente Festival ewo eye Bonwire na Bonwire hene nyankopon hira no ba bibio wo bia. The supporter na de maye no eye enormous because we are no a chose there bi awuche momi amfa ha yenye ni sei sisi ameno ka say it said this year jumedi e ba di let them put our regional house of chiefs jumedi na ye di no most of the programs no ye be hu say nananom wo ho a almost be dan ye ene ye di juma no. So as a political entity no, we don't solely focus on the political aspect because Asante your mind bia before the Ghana be gain independence no na Asante woni independence that na Asante wo da na ye kuro ru a e wo ho dada enti ye ntimi ma Asante enye sebi de ye de ana de ye fe sentini say e bia president ama itumi no da bi media ye di nyina ene nananom ene kabum from venue to execution to all that. However, if I see a solve certain major problems then one major problem is the upcoming artists, the upcoming producers, directors and all that being taken advantage of. In the end, I didn't yempe the creme de la creme. Our more industry no say omobeba no mobabe tre music as a business, music laws, music contracts and all that. And ye di juma no na was here 2 years after a kuku dam bit say a bulldog wo hu ni nyina obi ti say Kwame Ba ono so ehu ni nyina to Barney Music and all the candy beat and esa ankofo nyina omo nyina amra Mr Bones MC Portfolio omo nyina amra no mo meboa ye na yendi nkomo about how our upcoming creative people no would not be taken advantage of. Enti say yanya ne sa ebeto so akwa ama ebedu bremi no wa hwe ya Ashanti region yepe any upcoming artist and yepe top artist bia wa hwe nya bi wa ha ma cite example bi ncho so obi ti say Kweku Flake. Yes, I think it was Kweku Flake. Omo ba office omo ba ni omo di nkomo and realize that the annual Kweku Flake concert happened in Accra. No mo so ma ye bi wo Kumasi once. No mo ye no once no o man share there hu ni ye because of sponsorship support and all that. But when they go to Accra, there is that support massive and all that. So the question is, why would a creative person even want to headline a show here? However, recently, we all saw the love, the support, and everything. So it tells us there is something missing in the chain. What is missing in the chain is right from Senipano Efri Asiebano. Yanson na si ye no kunya sa support ni free in cry na baby a obeko and that is what we are trying to do.
You have an interesting lineup as you made mention, Mr. Bones Portfolio and all that. There's one particular person in it. They are all my people. I love all of them. Many of them in your personal encounter conversations. Baby Nazo have even been here, been in your seat. But you have A&R person in the MC Benethin. Benethin is my man. Nana SS Ankomo we know. Say Omu dia na say ye kan ho asem na ntenchen wonte ase a. Also ni pakone kasawa. Benethin and I have had, personal conversations. We're holding a summit at Melana Mako. Oh, when they are speaking, if you look at them now, you might be like, Aquaria, why need to brown idiot. But Ebina Woken, you Bonti will attest to it. Say, one particular entertainment show I are dedicated to putting young artists on Pana. You can't name top 2 in Kumasi. In Livi Kumasi, Mr. Black and Saturday is and then they come here. We have conversations with them. We don't just have interviews. We tell them Zonia and Komona Enu Dino. We've had practical example of say artist manager and artist aba. Ne yedin kumubini busa artist nasem. Na nye manager woho. Ne man is a massa. Nye manager semu se contractor bibia sign within 2 weeks. Na esi. Na artist crowd sabet na about sumukan yo na ne
artist ba kubi catch him so on a contract or sign work kitchen one kind crowd
yeah one kind
no ko ye gari o se na ko aduane ho and so it's
so having this summit is something I'm watching now. Personally I'll be there. Opemsuo, you'll be there to know how it's going. Sebe share we could talk about it niako. Baso time baso wahine. How do people participate in this activity? Yemrene Kobunti.
All right.
Oriana Majeo so our comment be quick and
a little adjustment to the lineup now. Originally na your media summit on the 13th, which is Friday. But say ye media summit no. At the media summit no and so I become a channel lineup no. So we are having 2 summits.
Okay.
Our live event center. And the first one would be the music summit. At the music summit no ever happen within the hours of if we are not 8 at the Kusi by 12:30 near your music summit no. Your music summit now 1 o'clock near the media for no so the night at the atmosphere. Just as we are having challenges in the music industry, same way do we have the same challenges in the media fraternity. Obi ora sebi obi okra ebi obi obetimi akasa obi ora o ye good nti na bia sebi obetna radio so and TV so no odijuma kama but ono so nim technicalities ube you no akoka se me na no court for defamation. And this is something which is really going on, especially even among young bloggers ayesane omo ye adwuma me no dey nim bloggers asem e kira nko na say ya odabone or boy issue. We are saying no GHP account. So it tells you that even within the media space there is something which we desire to do. It's nyame adom ochina ye media summit na ye music summit na ye na one na near the media summit na to aso ni nyina happen our live event center e wo Kumasi City Mall. Music summit in as much as the target audience near upcoming artists and our producers and asibisan obi wo you have the passion in music. Maybe as you make say you discover our talent, but when you say you do something about music, you can still come and witness it. Ebi kura wo beba no sebi also kakra wo beka no ebi na ebe boa obi a wote nchen. Until obi are invited. Now with the media summit so in as much as again we are looking at the media entity and as the media community no, there is a second segment about the media summit. I may sure say a lot of people will be interested in it. The second segment would be an open forum segment where Dr. Frank Amoakoni, the Ashanti Regional Minister, question be a woman Ashanti man be a need stage no so. The woman be a whether so a media person, whether we a civilian, and also will be a whatever question you have for him. If you have a suggestion for him, ebi a bibi because who Ashanti man I won't tiase. Ebi a bibi or to say if you are so akwa buno and logaya ama oxygen is udu and logaha ama funya carbon dioxide in kwana mafu ube tu have busa and say honorable edi na go budu and to wa is ama carbon dioxide that way system musa the question be a will be our person busa no be a nyame admo na he would be available to answer that question. It is all part of we trying to be as transparent and as accountable as a government to people, because she said President pointing it to me, the president has addressed Ghanaians within the region. We need to know the progress in the region. Yeah. We need to understand certain things which is going on within the region. And this as in Bisebi honorable, okay, say we be say, and our president and our government can so be say. Ye muza mo ye mo tuwana mo anamu tuwana mo anamu nyanye now the say say bizani na ba ntia no so obi a wa Asante mantem asabe wote meni bia uni Asante mantem kra na say o Ghana ha ba bia wo bia question bia wo ma honorable say eyin kranhye say ye de wo ma ni bia so obetimi aba and also ebe happen e live event center e second segment of media summit.